Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler, Lecter, and AJ with you on Friday morning. Happy Friday morning down here in your life. Downtown your life, 50-50. Oh, sorry. I went into old school radio voice there for a second. Good morning. It's a little chilly this morning. Again, we don't like to harp on the weather, but my kitchen window was open all night, and when I came out to make coffee, I got the shivers.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Chicken skin and all that. Goosebumps.
Chicken skin.
Goosebumps.
Ah,
yeah.
gotcha.
I've never heard of it.
Phoenix
Chicken skin.
hates that. It's actually something my dad picked up in Hawaii. They call it chicken skin.
Huh.
Yeah, goosebumps. So he always said chicken skin, so that gets into me. So every time she goes, she gets a shiver. She goes, ooh, look, I have goosebumps. I go, you mean chicken skin? She's like, no, it's not called that. That's gross. And I say, listen, woman. I don't say that. I say, no, it's chicken skin. It's adorable. It's kind of gross. I mean, if you think of chicken skin. Right?
I'm with Phoenix on this one.
Yeah, you're with Phoenix?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Well, there we go again.
There we go again. Taking her side. Jeez. Bros before Phoenixes, bro. Yeah. So chicken skin. It was a little chilly this morning.
Yeah.
We're getting into the dog days, the mid-August days.
These are
getting
perfect.
cold. It was 0 in Alberta somewhere yesterday.
Oh.
Or so I saw on somebody's
Somewhere.
Facebook page.
Somewhere in the world it was 0 today.
I said Alberta.
Where?
I don't know. Southern Alberta.
Southern.
I saw it on
South
someone's
of the
map. They
NWT
had a
border.
picture of a map and it said 0. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. We're going
Okay.
to talk about it.
North of the states, south of NWT.
That's right. Right there.
Somewhere in the NWT.
Between
Smack dab-
BC and Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. That void in the middle of the country.
Soon
What?
to be. When they leave.
Yeah, that's right. When they exit.
I think they
Yeah.
call it Lloydminster.
Mornings at the Cabin. The podcast.
This just popped up in my feed, which I thought was funny. And it's not going to tie into anything we're about to talk about because we're going to talk about that virtual comedy show that was last night. But today I learned that the shortest marriage in recorded history was 3 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. On the
longer
way out of
than
the
I thought it'd
courthouse. What's that?
It's longer than I thought it'd be.
Well, fair enough. On the way out of the courthouse, the bride tripped and fell. Instead of helping her up, the groom called her stupid. On the spot, the bride insisted the magistrate annul the wedding, and the magistrate complied. Can you imagine?
Wow.
I mean, you really dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, get up, stupid.
Instantly.
It's our wedding day. You're embarrassing me.
She's like, I made a huge mistake.
Yeah. He was a groomzilla. This is my day, stupid.
These stairs are obstacle one of a lifetime.
Yeah,
honey.
oh,
Like,
yeah,
if you
exactly.
can't make it over these.
Oh, man. Like, you had to be halfway out the door already, right? Like,
Yeah.
you called her stupid, and she's like, you know what? This is off.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to wait the rest of the... We're not even going to have dinner together tonight. That's it.
That's great.
It's not bad.
It didn't tie in, but I'm glad you brought it up.
It was funny, though, which leads
What a treat.
into the virtual comedy nights, which was last night. AJ, you had a chance to check it out. How was it?
It was fantastic.
Okay.
Bizarre.
As
Very
is
bizarre.
expected.
Absurd turd media.
Yes.
Yes, very, very bizarre. But it was really well done. A lot of thought put into it. The comedians were great.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was a cool one of those. Remember back in the day when we were all on Zoom for everything?
We all in Zoomers?
It brought me right back to that.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I was sitting
Yeah,
in my
that's-
house having a beer, watching just a bunch of bizarre comedy. But it
Absolutely.
was great. The production value was pretty cool.
Nice.
They did this thing with the camera would pan across for each different segment, and they
Yep.
put up a big board, like I don't know what you would call like a transition type screen, but they would
board.
just put up a board instead, and you could see people like quickly moving on the
Nice.
sides.
Yeah, because they did it live, but they didn't have an
They did it
audience, right?
They did it live, but they did it in the Womp office.
Yeah.
So there were people
There.
around, yeah.
But not
And
like
there's-
an audience.
Just like every Zoom conference call, there's always these funny mic things.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Tom Parker was playing piano the whole time, and he had this little lav mic on. But sometimes he'd forget that the lav mic was constantly left on.
Uh-oh.
Like there was one, he's like, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom." Like,
No, that was not a mistake.
That's
that
a
was
bit.
part of the
Tom
comedy.
right
wrote
in the
that.
middle of a
I
set.
honestly,
Yeah.
I see one of them being like, "Let's just leave it." Like, well, Thomas, we're gonna leave your mic on. Anything that gets picked up is just part of the show.
Yeah.
The mics were really funny. Yeah, because they had lav mics, they had like stationary mics as well, and Martin would get up in these like right after the set was done in his explosive energy, and he'd get up and start talking, and then you'd see someone like slowly bounce a mic into the room. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, yeah," but you could hear him the whole time. There's
course.
enough mics that you could hear him pretty clearly. But he would go, "Oh yeah, I got to use the mic," and then he would repeat everything he'd say, and not realizing that we could actually hear what he was saying.
The show was 4 hours long.
Yeah, it was really funny.
It was called Straight Outta Yellowknife 2, Brace Yourself. And a great lineup.
Yeah.
Once again, Emily Blake, Cabin Radio's own Emily Blake was in there.
Yep, she
How'd
was
she do?
great. She's very, very natural on the mic.
Yeah.
Like, I spend all day with her and Sarah in our office, and it's just like talking to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think that's a very difficult
It is.
thing. Like, you can attest that. We can all attest that.
Yep.
When you're up on stage, it's hard to just be natural.
Right.
And she's very, very good at it.
More or less swearing than in the office?
Way less swearing.
Less swearing.
There was a couple swears here and there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe,
Huh?
but not as much
How blue
during the day.
did it get, AJ?
It was personal. Her set was very personal.
Very nice.
Yeah. She talked about like a guy that she was kind of seeing and
Okay.
was a weirdo.
Yeah.
So,
They were all
Yellowknife.
very personal stories. They weren't
Yeah.
just like jokes. They were like,
That's good.
this is what's happening in my life.
That's where the best stuff comes. You got to type
Oh,
it into yourself.
It's
Absolutely.
relatable.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure everyone could relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right on.
And
Sky
then,
Plowman, of course, as well.
Sky Plowman, yeah. So she did Quarantini.
Yep.
So she made a like a what'd she say? Like a bad Manhattan, I think is what it
A
was.
bad Manhattan.
Yeah, she's like, this is how you normally you would do this for a good Manhattan, but I'm just gonna mash this in this glass. Right? Like she basically made like a juice.
Oh,
Manhattan.
yeah. I've had a bad Manhattan like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a sports bar. I was there watching UFC, and I was like, can I get a Manhattan? And it was just like there was a bunch of orange crushed into the bottom of it and stuff. Like,
That's yeah.
It was just garbage.
Just mashed up maraschino cherry. Yeah. it
Ew.
looked pretty- yeah. Anyways, so she
Probably
started
tasted pretty good.
drinking that pretty quick while
Yeah.
she did her set,
Yeah.
which was very funny.
Always is.
Does she have some background in it or something?
Well,
Like she was very professional.
She's a be better performer for you.
Yeah, she went to
okay.
school for performing arts
that's
too,
right.
right?
Yeah, because you could tell that she had
can't-
some training.
Do you remember where she went to school? I don't remember where she went to school.
Where?
Yeah.
No.
No. But she's
I don't
got-
know where
yeah.
anyone went.
She does have a background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She-
I don't know where I went to school.
It's not like in the States where everyone, splatters their
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
their
yeah.
college all over the place. I have no idea where anyone went.
You just
to
look
school.
at their sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
went to
right.
UTI.
Yeah.
Anyway.
DeVry. I went to DeVry College.
No, UTI is urinary tract infection.
Institute.
But-
Urinary tract
Urinary
All right.
tract institute.
Jeez.
God, man. Yeah.
Get it
I didn't
right.
slave away there. Burn myself out for nothing. The UTI joke. Burn yourself. I was just saying, we should be invited to this show. So I'm glad it went well. Hopefully they do another one. Hopefully I have a chance to see the next one. But yeah, we hope to see
they'll keep
more
going.
from Absurd Turd Media.
Did they say anything about leaving it up? Like if someone wanted to watch it tonight, could you pay $10 for like a video link or something? Is there some way that they're
They
still
didn't.
showing it after the fact? No.
They didn't. Martin clearly had some coaching behind the camera for the MC notes.
Ah.
Because every time he was done his MC bit, there'd always be like, don't forget this. You forgot this part. Which is also like added to it. It was very, very
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
But
I think-
they didn't mention it. But it did have the little recording symbol at the
Oh, there
top
you
of the
go.
Zoom call. So I'd imagine they recorded it. I imagine they'll put it
Yeah,
up,
for
but-
posterity
Okay.
at least.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I imagine Martin just he's just on his own wavelength. So like he just, like you said, explosive energy just goes. Like,
And he just says,
don't forget to mention the sponsors. Oh, yeah.
he just says these things. And you could tell he had no plans of saying that. It just fell out because he'll just start laughing.
Yeah.
Like, why did I just, let's move on.
He's
Yeah.
probably completely forgotten they did a show last night.
Totally. Yeah.
He's on to the next
just like a ball of it. Yeah.
What
Just
happened? Huh?
So much energy he blacked out. Yeah.
Blows up the tanks and falls asleep on the ground, and everybody leaves.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Wheeler, Lecter, and AJ with you on your Friday morning. It's finally Friday. I got to work tomorrow. Coming down from the city, we knew this was going to happen. I don't know that we knew this was going to happen here, but it makes sense. So, on the 12th,
Does it make sense?
shut up, AJ. On the 12th,
Is it the 12th?
It's the 14th.
it's the 14th. So on the 12th, though, across Canada, in Walmart, masks became mandatory. People were losing their minds when we posted that story. But now the city's like, you know what? Maybe we should try that. So it could become mandatory to wear a mask in Yellowknife. That hand down from the city yesterday. Emily Blake has that story for you at cabinradio.ca. Check it out. It is considering whether we make wearing masks mandatory in public spaces. So that doesn't mean, in your home or in your car.
God, I would hope not.
right?
In
Put
your
mask
own
on in your
home.
home. We're going to be watching you.
That's my property. You can't tell me what to do on my property.
Oh, man.
I was peeking through Jesse's window, and he was just going through his day willy-nilly, sneezing wherever he pleased.
Yeah.
No
I was naked.
mask.
So I was willy-nilly. I was nilly-willy.
Your willy was new.
My willy was nilly. It was cold in my house. I'm just going to put that up. So, I mean, their reasoning is pretty, it's pretty sound. Masks are fairly inexpensive, non-invasive way to help the economy avoid complete lockdown, which is what we don't want to see. We don't want to see the second wave and have us be locked down. Because I've been talking to my buddy, and buddies all over this country, but all over this great country, this great land, coast to coast to coast. And he was saying Kelowna in BC, they're preparing for lockdown again. So,
Yes.
they've had a fairly open summer in Kelowna themselves, but now they're preparing for lockdown again.
I just think that nothing has happened to warrant this. You know what I mean? Like
No, but
in Yellowknife.
Absolutely, and I understand, and I would understand why people would be frustrated because they're like, we haven't had a case in 3 months. Why are we doing this?
I have no problem wearing a mask. I
Because-
just think it's weird that this is now like, yeah, let's just wear masks. You're like, but we've been
That's the
over 100 days. Like, no issues.
and what's odd is like a couple weeks ago we had a safety meeting at the dealership about pandemic regulations and what we need to do. And it was like, well, this is what we were doing in April.
Yeah.
And we kind of moved away from it a little bit. We're still washing our hands, still wiping down
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
using hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
but kind of like relaxing a little bit on it. Still try to keep distance, not doing handshakes, stuff like that.
Right.
But then we had a meeting where it's like, well, we're going to, really, really ramp this up again. And it's like, okay, why?
Yeah.
So now we've put up the partitions, which I feel is like 3 months too late, but whatever. This is what we got to do. That's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah.
But like it feels like the more cynical part of me and the conspiratorial minded part of myself, because I'm not super huge into conspiracy theories. I don't think there's some like dark cabal running the world. Probably is, but I don't know. Whatever. Who cares?
Doesn't affect me. So.
It doesn't affect me.
They don't want to talk to us anyway, so
Exactly.
we'll never know.
I'm middle class. Yeah. We don't have any power there. The cynical part of me is like, what? Like, why are we ramping up again? I understand that we're preparing to like maybe have a second wave, but
Right.
like the really dark cynical part of me is like, are they not telling us everything? Like, are they like, let's ramp it up because we know something's coming. We're just not going to tell you what it is yet.
Yeah.
But I doubt that that's what it is. But I mean, what they say in the article is like to avoid complete lockdown of the economy, we're going to have to wear masks because at some point we are going to have to open that border up again. Right? So you have to open up the border. Without a vaccine, you're going to have to really ramp up the safety measures, right? So that you can have people have to wear masks in public places. You're going to have to sanitize all these things in order to keep the economy going. What's going to be ironic about this is that the people who are going to complain about the masks and how they're inflicting on their rights are the same people who are like, we have to open things up or the economy will die.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
you
Right.
can't have one
Yeah.
without the other.
Right.
So that's what we're going to see on this story. I guarantee it. I haven't checked the comment section yet, but that's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same people that were complaining about no support for businesses during this, and we have to open everything up so we don't die off.
Right.
Are going to be the same people who are being like, masks, jeez.
It's you can't have your cake and eat it.
Exactly. You
too,
can't
sort
have
of
your
thing.
mask and then suck it into your mouth.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
There's a couple
I,
doozies on there already.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
You'll-
Yeah.
It's a good read.
Yeah.
The comment section.
The comment section. Oh,
Yeah.
Story's
Always.
a great read too, but obviously. Comment.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the safety of students, especially bus drivers, teachers,
Yeah.
like it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks to have to wear a mask, but I mean,
For those
this
kind
might
of
be the
things,
reality.
It's kind of reality as it is. Like, I mean, getting on a plane, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it just seems kind of weird to be like, okay, for really no reason whatsoever, we might just make it masks mandatory right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, the border, they're like, well, we're thinking about making masks mandatory when we open the border
Yeah.
because of this reason. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we could all understand that.
Yeah,
most of
I
us,
mean,
yeah.
whatever. Like, I don't want to talk badly about precautionary measures.
Yeah.
Right.
During this whole thing, I'm like, you know
Because you
what?
sound like a jerk when you do.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you come across one of those commenters. But I don't know. It just seems so unwarranted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're going to city councilors are going to make their decisions on several options,
Yes.
which have been kind of laid out in front of them. And so we'll see what city council thinks of it. It seems like they're kind of their thoughts are kind of the same as us in that they're like, nobody's jumping at this because I mean nobody wants this, especially in our case, which should be taken as exceptional to the rest of the country because we have done a very good job to this point keeping the territory safe.
Yes.
We haven't had a positive case. Well, I mean, there's the one at the mine, obviously, but they're counting that as in Alberta.
Yeah, take that, Alberta.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Just dumping on the pile, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. What's another,
they'll
what's another
never
stick
notice.
on the fire?
We couldn't just take that one on for them.
That's right. No.
Jeez.
No,
do them
give
a
it to
solid.
Alberta. So,
But yeah, we've done such a good job
Yeah.
to this point because the measures have been very restrictive.
that's right.
Yes.
So one of the options that they've laid out to city council, the last one that's mentioned in the story is,
Yeah.
or leaving it to the territorial government to make an order if there's a regional or territorial outbreak.
I mean, that has. I think those go both. They kind of go hand in hand.
Well, and that's my thought is like, why, if you're the city and you're mulling over whether to do this or not,
Yeah.
why not just continue to follow the territorial government's lead? They've done a pretty good job to this point.
Yeah.
Basically all of the criticism is that, if anything, the measures have been too tough. They've been too harsh.
Yeah.
So why now, after, we've been behaving ourselves, doing really well,
Yeah.
staying safe, why implement more measures?
And why the
You know?
city now?
Because we're going to have to.
Once the border opens up, absolutely. But as of right now,
Well, yeah, but I mean,
we don't really have a timeline as to when the border is going to open up.
But this is where I get into the cynical part of it. Where for me anyway, is that we're not doing that great a job. I feel like we're not doing that great a job, or I hear we're not doing that great a job of letting people in and out of the border.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I've heard of people driving to the border and there being no one there. And like, I mean, who knows if that's true? But I mean, this is what you're kind of hearing. And like,
Yeah.
it kind of makes you question whether or not we are doing that good job at the border.
and
like,
stories. I mean, people
and-
saying like, "Hey, I just saw someone at the pub who's
Exactly.
was
And,
openly saying they were from
openly
Alberta."
saying they just came up from Alberta and they're just here to for a vacation. It's like, what
Yeah.
the hell are you doing here? And it's also who's getting the exemptions, because there's obviously people who have exemptions who can go across the border willy nilly
Right.
and come back and not have to isolate, or only isolate for a little bit or whatever. It seems.
But here's
because
the
there's
thing.
a lot of people going in.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
and I don't doubt that there are cases like that happening.
Yes.
A mask is not going to protect you from that.
From someone.
A
with-
mask is going to protect other people from you.
Yeah.
Presumably you being a NWT resident.
Yes.
Who is not going in and out of the territory.
Yeah.
Correct. Like those
So-
people are still touching surfaces. You're still like,
Yeah.
that risk is still there.
But that's
mask
why
or
everybody
no
has
mask.
to wear
A mask
masks.
isn't gonna
'Cause
help you
that
in that
cuts down
case.
the rate of transmission even more.
Yes.
Right. So like because there might be these unknowns, then everybody has to wear it.
Right.
Right. So it protects everybody. You're not
But if-
just protecting yourself; you're protecting other people. As well.
But if you can't regulate them coming into the territory and doing the right thing and self-isolating, how are you going to get them to wear a mask?
You can't get people to do much of anything.
That's kind of
That's kind of the and I mean that's where you got to give like government bodies kind of the benefit of the doubt. It's like, well, we put these in place. I was like, well, how are you going to enforce them? Like, well, we'll enforce them this way. Well, that seems like martial law to me. And so it's like, well, you can't. All you can do is try to depend on people to do the right thing.
Right.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And
which
most,
is why you need
most
to be
people,
careful about this stuff.
Most people either don't know what the right thing is, or will willingly not do that right thing.
Or
Not most people,
or have
but some
different
people, right? There's
ideas
always
as
gonna
to
be-
what the right
exactly.
thing is. Yeah.
Or like it happens. Sometimes it happens so fast that you're just like, I don't know. Like, should I have reported that? Should I do something about that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know.
Have any of the prior restrictions and things that have come out actually come from the city of Yellowknife? Because I think they've
I think it's
all
been all
been
territorial.
GNWT.
Yeah, it's all-
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
been territorial.
Yeah.
So this to me, and I could be wrong, but this seems like the first thing that the city of Yellowknife is like, we're going to take this on
Yeah.
as an additional precaution.
I mean, aside from obviously like events that they've put on and
Yeah.
Of course.
taking those precautions,
Of course.
and I mean, like they could have put any stipulations on any event that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
And-
anyone could. I mean, we could make our own very strict rules in this office.
Yeah.
But it just seems
We do.
yeah, once again, just adds to
We
the
do not
office.
hang out outside of this office.
No.
That was
we are not
long
friends.
before COVID.
Other options include the status quo, where, passing a bylaw if there's a Yellowknife outbreak of COVID-19 to make mask mandatory in city transit, on transit, and all city-owned and operated facilities, or in all public spaces, or leaving it to the territory, like you said, to the territory to make an order if there's a regional territorial outbreak. The thing is, this is what it boils down to, is that if you want the economy to start going, if you want these things to start happening again, put on a mask. That's what they're asking. So just do it. And it's not a matter of giving up your rights. It's a matter of like, this is what we're going to have to do in order to do this. If you want this thing, if you want B, you're going to have to do A. Or
Yeah.
if you want to get to C, you have to do A and B or whatever.
So personally, if that direction came from the territorial government,
Yeah.
I'd be a lot more
But the city's
understanding
working,
of
but
it.
the city's working with the territorial government.
Yeah, but none of this is coming from the territorial government,
No.
or else that last option just continue to do what the territorial
No, but
government says wouldn't be in there.
they're working from a place of understanding of where the territorial government is coming from, right? So they're working under that with that knowledge. I would imagine. I don't think they're just making up their own thing. I think they're working off the basis of what the GNWT has already proposed and already has in place, and then kind of taking it that step further. If we'd like to open these things up, let's put on a mask.
That's
but
my
isn't-
thing. It's
isn't
not
the
going to
reason-
open up unless the territorial government says it's going to open up.
Or Canada, right?
Right.
And then
Yeah.
that's what they're basing it off. Is like we need all of Canada to start doing much better, and this
Yep.
Yeah.
diseases start going away
Yeah.
before we can open up.
and that's why I get
So
the
it's-
Walmart thing.
Yeah.
Because that's
because
just a
it just
blanket
makes
law.
sense.
Just makes sense.
to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, across
we don't
the
care
country.
what your rules are. This
Yeah.
is our rule. This is our private property. This is what we're doing.
No problems there whatsoever.
No problems. Well, I mean, everybody had, like a bunch of people had problems
From
with
my perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
but we have to get past this whole like you're infringing on my rights.
Yeah.
And
And
to wear a mask. It's really not that big.
And
unless
that's
you've
not
got a
where we're
respiratory
coming
system.
from at all.
No, I know.
It just feels like this is an unwarranted step that kind of undermines what the work the territorial government has already done.
But I mean, you can't.
To me.
No, I understand where you're coming from. It's just that you can't take the next step without also taking further precautions, right? Because the next step.
But we have taken for
No, we have taken precautions. But I mean, if you want to take that next step and actually open up that border or allow more interaction even within the city, you're going to have to put up some more things. You're going to have those
Oh,
partitions.
more interaction. I don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to want more hand sanitizer, more masks, all these things, and it all makes sense to me because I'm a sheep and I can't think for myself, and I'm just waiting for the government to come wipe down my dewy bottom. I hate rights, and I don't want them anymore. Come take them away by putting a mask on my face, you plebs.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Yesterday, an acquaintance, a friend of mine, Robin Weber, sent me a picture.
Wait. First things first.
Yes.
Acquaintance or friend?
Well, we weren't friends on Facebook.
Oh.
And we had talked before about other things.
Okay. I just want to nail down the exact nature of your relationship.
Who is this
here before
person
we
to
get
you?
into this?
Former and current lover. No, it's not at all. But we're now friends on Facebook because they sent me this picture, and it's fantastic. It's a still from a anti-drinking and driving.
Oh, is that what that's from?
PSA in grade 8. We were at the fire hall, I'm pretty sure, and they were asking around if anybody had any experience with drinking and driving, and I told a story about a friend who had gotten in an accident, broke his leg, blah, 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 and while drinking and driving, I won't say who the friend is.
Oh, that was a real story.
Oh, it was a real story.
You
Yeah.
didn't just
the
make
eighth
that up?
grade?
I didn't make it up.
12-year-old Jesse Wheeler?
I was 13.
13.
Yeah.
Whatever. I forget what grade 8 is.
Don't be a dink.
But you had a friend who was.
I was friends with a lot of people who were older.
Oh.
So, like, I grew up, two of my best friends that I grew up when I was older were 3 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
So they had already gotten to the age of driving and drinking, and also the person
Driving and
drinking.
yeah.
And it says, "What's your 16? You can do it. You're allowed." Listen, Yellowknife was a very different place in 1995.
Oh,
okay?
Canada was a very different place.
The
in
world.
1995.
Yeah, it was safer. I could, leave my door unlocked.
The term booze cruise is still mainstream in Saskatchewan.
I know.
My favorite beer is a road beer, as a quote I
yeah,
used to
and don't
hear.
forget, you don't have to be of driving age or drinking age to drink and or drive.
But don't do it.
Yeah.
Not recommended.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not recommended. So that's what this still is from. And my glorious, glorious long hair is in it. That's not even at its longest. I grew it out for another 2 years after this.
That is.
And it is
wow.
ratty and greasy as F, man. Like, you can see my bang. See how short the bang is compared to everything else?
Oh, yeah.
Garbage.
First thing that stood out to me.
I look like a garbage person.
You look like of the time.
I do.
1995.
But I mean, the hair
that
is so ratty.
That is a mid-90s prime pro wrestling mullet.
I mean, it's not bad. Not bad. It's very grunge as well.
It's very Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Little Rick the Marl Martel, depending on if you want to go that route.
Well, not as much. Not as much.
Okay.
I'll
maybe,
go Hammer.
Maybe Big Scott Hall.
Nah, Hammer.
Pre-Razor Ramon days.
Greg Hammer Valentine.
Or just the lead singer of Anvil.
I thought we were Quiet Riot. This year we're Red. So I put that up. A lot of reactions. Obviously, a lot of people like to see the kid shots of people they know. But this one's particularly pretty funny because my hair is so long and greasy. And my face looks like a circle. Hadn't grown into my face yet.
Sarah saw this picture yesterday when I had it up on my computer.
Pug-nosed jerk.
And that's exactly what she said.
What a little pug-nosed jerk.
What a pug-nosed jerk.
I was like,
Look
Sarah.
Look at this fat little piece of garbage.
Stop looking at my computer, Sarah.
Sarah.
This ties in really well. She says, Jesse doesn't look any different now.
That's exactly a buddy of mine that I went to college with, Joe Sutherland. He said, you basically look the same.
Yeah, you don't age.
I'm very intrigued by your transformation through
Fat don't
puberty
crack,
now
baby.
because we've got
Fat
that.
do not crack.
We're tracing your past. We've got that picture. We've got you now. I'm basically looking at you side by side, and there's with stubble on this picture, you'd look pretty much exactly the same.
Except I've grown into my face. I have definition in my face. It's not a complete circle right now. I have like a chin.
You got a little definition in there.
No, there's no chin. You can barely see where my chin starts.
I see a cheekbone.
I see it's there somewhere.
You're not
underneath
smiling
that
in the
Oreo
picture.
cookie of a cheek you have.
But somewhere in between this picture and what we see right now, Jesse Wheeler, we've got your first license behind us.
That's my learners, baby.
That your Leave It to Beaver phase.
I am a goofy looking kid.
And that, you don't look like that anymore.
That was like the summer
2
after
years
I cut
after?
everything off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you look like 13-year-old Jesse again.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting
It is.
little face arc.
This
you
is
have,
what,
it's a fun journey.
Aging, it has to do with the plumpness, but it also has to do with avoiding manual labor my entire life.
there you go.
Yeah, that's
Good
how
for
much.
you.
I don't think people appreciate how much skill and determination it takes to avoid manual labor for your entire life.
I'm convinced that's how my mother convinced my father to have kids.
Yeah.
He's like, well, they could be boys and they could just do all this stuff
Do all
for
the
you.
stuff. I don't
He's
want
like,
rough hands all over
all
me.
right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Sure enough, 2 boys.
Yeah.
And we've been doing manual labor since the day we were born.
And you look like 48.
I know. I've aged.
You
I've
look
looked
like a
48
wet-
since I was
You
40.
look like a weathered catcher's mitt. No, I haven't avoided labor my whole life. I've done some work. All right, I worked for a demolition crew in Vancouver, and I worked for the city a couple times.
Did you just charm all your employees,
That's right. That's
coworkers
right.
into
Listen,
doing
guys,
everything?
I'll just be outside waiting.
Yeah.
You guys just let me know when you.
I'll just stand here and do impressions of your favorite Simpsons characters. You guys do the work. I'll
that's
entertain you. Because he didn't have satellite radio at the
That's
time.
right.
He didn't have Spotify. He needed something going on.
Yeah.
Team
Me
morale.
lift things? That's impossible. That's pretty good. Ralph Wiggum. I don't know why I said Wilgum. Obviously, a lot of people were commenting that went to school with me. It's like, I remember that guy. I hated that guy.
Glad that guy's gone.
But one of my friends saying, I remember you with this haircut at Mildred Hall, flipping your eyelids inside out on the bus to freak the kids out. Used to do that all the time.
Still does it.
That's how I got the ladies.
Where do you think his eyelids are right now, everybody?
Can you still
All
do that?
Flipped up. No, that's permanent. That's why. You're not supposed to do it as a kid because now it's permanent.
Now you're stuck.
Yeah, that was a Nookshik McKay. Thank you very much for that. Love it. And
Did you have long hair when you were a kid? Like at that age?
On and off, yeah.
On and off?
Yeah.
So did I.
See, I think by 13, I probably didn't because I was starting to understand the concept of,
cleanliness?
social construct.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
did.
whatnot.
Oh, no.
14 was my, it was.
No, I was mistaken for a girl a lot back then.
See, I was mistaken for a girl at a younger age because my dad insisted that I not cut my hair.
Oh, okay.
Oh. And you wanted to?
I had like a backward because most young boys their dads are like, oh, you got to cut your hair, you got to shave it off almost.
That's what my dad said.
At least in that age.
Yeah.
But my dad came up in that age, and he always wanted to grow his hair long. His dad wouldn't allow it.
There you go.
So I came up. I wanted to cut my hair short.
you
My dad
forced
wouldn't
it on
allow
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah, exactly. He forced you to do it to get back at his father.
That's right.
Oy.
Yeah. Some stuff to unpack there, perhaps. Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack. A little childhood trauma, whatever.
But nevertheless, here we are.
Up until about that age, I would get mistaken for a girl.
Yeah.
Because I had those soft features. Look at that soft, supple, round face.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Smooth.
Yeah. It is. It was. I didn't start growing facial hair until like grade 11.
I was 6.
Yeah. When I was in grade 11.
No, I was 6 years old when I grew facial hair.
Yeah.
Great. That's
That doesn't
wonderful.
surprise me.
Yeah, I still can't grow it that well. It's about as good as it gets.
That's good.
So, I mean, if you're friends with me, you can go check that out. Maybe we'll post it up on the Mornings at the Cabin website, Facebook page. I don't know. We should do all of our baby pictures.
All right.
Because this is me as a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was 3 months old in this picture.
Poor Gail.
Poor Gail. Sorry, Mama. Came out sideways and fighting. But thanks to everybody who commented. It was a lot of fun seeing that picture. Thanks to Robin Weber who sent me that. A lot of fun seeing that, and a lot of fun hearing the comments about just how beautiful I was back in those baby days. All right.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Lecter just popped back in with a whole sack full of burgers. That's right. You know how we do Teen Burger Thursdays sometimes? Well, sometimes it becomes Teen Burger Friday because Thursday it's rainy and nobody wants to go get Teen Burgers. So it's Teen Burger Friday down here at Mornings at the Cabin. Something we somehow still don't have sponsored. We're working on that?
I'm just going to send him an invoice.
Yeah.
I think you know why.
I think you know why. Because we've been talking about Teen Burgers every week for weeks.
Yeah, they even know like when I come in.
Yeah.
Like, Team Burgers?
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
How many?
Let's get on this. A&W, Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by A&W Teen Burgers.
Oh,
That'd be
the
amazing.
dream.
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
we've talked about this from day one.
I know. This is one of the first things we talked about when we started having these meetings at lunchtime.
FM license was an afterthought.
Yeah, really. I mean, like, it was like number 100 on the list. Number 3 or 4 on the list was like free burgers.
Well, I think we thought that originally that was all we'd be able to barter out of people.
Yeah.
Just food
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
advertising.
if you could just put your name on our station, we'll get some food
If you
from
could keep us fed, that's half the battle.
That
for
is.
us.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. We don't eat well here.
Or do we eat very well?
We do eat
Got
very
a
well. Right now,
bag
we
of
are.
Teen Burgers right next to us. I'm saying we're eating like
Sack of
kings.
Teen Burgers. Love it so much. It smells great. It smells great. Nothing like having a root beer and a burger for your breakfast at 8:45 in the morning. Oh, I can't wait to tuck into those tasty, tasty burgers. We call those the Good Morning Burgers, but there's no egg on them. Should put an egg on there.
Should have slapped an egg on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get on that?
You asked for a teen burger, not a good morning burger.
yeah.
We do this every week. There's plenty of opportunity.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. I should really put my order in before you go with the egg on it. That's pretty much going to wrap up this show. I mean,
I thought we were going to talk about something after.
No.
I
I had nothing. I was hoping you'd show up with the Teen
I was
Burgers.
like, surely he's going to transition at
finish
some
up the
point.
show.
The segue's coming.
No,
I
no.
know it's
the
coming.
smell has got me. I'm
hungry,
done.
Lecter.
Yeah, no.
Let's
The
wrap
show
this
is
up.
over. The burgers are on the table. The show is done. You guys have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I'm going to tuck into a burger and some fries. Did you get the ketchup?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, baby.
Well, let's wrap this sucker up.
Now, let's wrap it up. Wrapping it up.
I asked her twice. She
Any,
yelled at me as I
any-
was going out the door.
Any parting thoughts? What are you guys doing this weekend?
Dog wedding.
Is that this weekend?
That's this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the dog wedding.
No, am I. No, not invited to the dog wedding, so
And that's it.
Well, Gabby didn't want you there. So.
yeah, it's fair enough.
you know.
Well, sort of history.
Yeah.
We used to meet on the trail with my dog and not like each other.
Yeah. Well, fair. Yeah. Why
think-
would you invite someone you don't like to the wedding?
I
Right?
think Dre was a
I mean,
past
it's
love.
just the story of my autobiography. I think. Why would you invite someone you don't like to a wedding? Well, that's going to be fun. So we wish Jesse and Gabby a great weekend.
And Boj.
And Jesse,
Yeah.
the other
Boj too.
Jesse.
It's Bojack's
And Jesse
day,
Wilson.
too.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, Jesse and Boj and Gabby. Great wedding weekend.
Yeah.
Wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Have fun. Have yourselves a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.